Today we're looking at melody writing. To begin writing a melody, our first step we need to decide is what key we're going to write in. Now a key could be a major or minor tonality, and you could also have different keys, for example C major, F minor, G minor, D major, and each associated key has certain notes that belong to it. We know that C major has no sharps or flats in its key signature. F major has one flat, a B flat, in its key signature. And G minor has two flats, a B flat and an E flat, and then an added F sharp as an accidental, just for something different. Today we're going to choose to write in C major. The second thing we need to identify is our scale. So if we were going to write out our scale of C major, we would see that we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And each of these notes have a scale degree number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 again, because C and C are the same. Now you might think that it's quite interesting that I've used Roman numerals, and you've seen that some of them are capital and some of them are lowercase. The capital ones indicate that these chords, when we play them, will be major chords. The ones that are lowercase, 2, 3, 6, are minor chords, and 7 is a diminished chord. Today we are only looking at chords 1, 4, and 5. Our next task is to identify the notes of the chord. So what notes belong to a C chord? This is worked out by skipping along the scale. C, skip one, E, skip one, G. So a C chord, or a chord 1, is made up of C as our tonic note, an E and a G. A chord 4 follows the same process. It starts on an F, and if you skipped from F, you would get an A, and then you would get a C. And our chord 4 uses the notes F, A, C. Our chord 5 in C major starts on the tonic note of G, and you would have G, B, and what comes after C? It would be another D. So G, B, D make up the notes of our chord 5 in C major. Now that you've established the notes that you're going to use, we need to move on to our first stage of melody writing. Choose a clef. It can be treble, or it could be bass. Choose a time signature. Two, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 6, 8, etc. The choice is yours, it's your composition. And then we begin writing. Continuing on with our melody writing, we have established that we're writing in the key of C major, and the 3 chords we're going to use are chords 1, 4, and 5. Now each one of these chords is going to make up a bar. So, bar 1, we are going to begin with chord 1. Bar 2, we're going to use chord 4. Bar 3, chord 5. And bar 4, chord 1. This is referred to as our chord progression. It is the basis of how we construct our composition. For when we add bass line or other harmonies, we need to know what chord that bar has used for its melody. We're going to begin by writing in the treble clef, and our time signature today is going to be 4/4 time. I'm going to do two different colours for my notes. I'm going to use black for my chord notes. We're going to see as we progress through our melody writing that different notes can be used even though they are not notes of the chord. So chord 1 is our bar 1, and we're going to start by choosing any of those three notes to begin with. It may be a C, it may be an E, it may be a G. You'll note also that as I write my notes, I'm not going to add stems for rhythm. I'm just going to write the note heads. I'm starting on a G, and then an E, and then a C, then a G. Chord 4, F, F, C, F. I did not use an A, and there is nothing in any rule book that says I have to use every note of the chord in this particular bar. So F, F, C, F. Bar 4 is chord 5, and I'm going to use G, B, G, D, E, G, C. And a double bar line at the end to indicate that this is the end of my song. Now, this is referred to as our skeleton melody. It is the bones that the rest of the melody hangs off. It follows a chord progression, so it creates stability, just like the bones in our skeleton. This melody, we're going to be adding passing notes. Passing notes are notes that pass between chord notes. I'm going to write these in blue. But if you were to look at a piano keyboard or play on your musical instrument, you would notice that after you play a C, the next note is a D. You have C, D, E, and E, F, G. So if we go down to our melody, we might find that between our first note G and our second note E, we could put in a passing note of an F. You also might see between the next two notes, their chordal notes, the E and the C, I've left an opportunity for a D to be added. Now between the next two notes, it has a C going to a G. So there are a couple of options here. You could use D, E, F. You could use just the E, which is a chord note and should be drawn in black. Or you could repeat the note. For this example, I'm going to repeat my note, and I'm going to change it so that we can see it's written in black. In our next bar, we have F, A, and C. Between an F and an A, you could have a G. F, G, A, B, C. Remember, these blue notes are our passing notes. Now, a passing note has to pass between two notes that are chordal notes. but it doesn't have to pass between two different chordal notes. So the start of my bar here has two Fs. We could go F, G, F. And that is a passing note because it's still a note that is between two chord notes. Between F and C, you could write an E and a D, or you could write another chord note. You could repeat what you've done. Everything is up to you. And it depends what sort of melody you want to make, whether it's going to be a fast, busy melody with lots of fast rhythms, or whether it's going to be a slower one. So here, I'm going to make mine a little bit more interesting by adding this at the end. Okay, and these two notes here I've added are actually chord notes. Bar 3, G, A, B, C, D become my passing notes. G, A, B, B, A, G, G, D. I will leave just like that. And my last bar is back to chord 1. So I might have E, G, F, E, because that's my chordal note, D, C. And there you have the beginning constructs of your melody. Black notes, initially creating our skeleton melody, and the blue notes, our passing notes, which pass between notes of the chord. The next step is to create a rhythm. And we have to have 4 beats in every bar. So I'm going to use red to create my rhythm here. Now your rhythm can be whatever you choose, but the purpose of your rhythm is not to show me that you know every single rhythm in the universe. The purpose of this is to create something that is unified. You will see here I've used crotchets, quavers and semiquavers, and I've finished on the 3rd beat of the bar, which is a strong beat in the last bar, to create a nice ending with a longer note. Let's take a look at what this might sound like. And finally, in summary, writing a melody. What do we need to follow in our steps to keep us focused? Number 1, choose a key. Number 2, work out what the scale is for that key. Number 3, work out the notes for the chords that you're going to be using. Number 4, choose your clef. Number 5, choose your time signature. Number 6, Work out a simple chord progression to begin with. This can always be altered later, but it's good to have somewhere to start. Number 7. Begin your composition by writing your skeleton melody, the bones to hang the rest of your melody off. Number 8. Work out your passing notes and add some passing notes to your skeleton melody to make it more interesting. Number 9. Add your rhythm. Make sure you are staying within the constraints of your time signature. If it's 4/4, then the equivalent of 4 crotchet beats in a bar. And number 10. Number 10 can be many things. Evaluate your composition. Go to your instrument and play it. Do you like it? Are there notes that sound wrong? Are there rhythms that sound too busy? Edit your composition. Change those things you want to change or need to change. If you're happy, maybe publish it using something like MuseScore or Notion. And finally, share it with someone. Learn how to play it on your instrument. Play it for your parents. Email it to a friend. And this may be the beginning of some fabulous melody writing for you.